Behave, guys. You got to behave now.
Oh, Karen going to turn it in right up there. Going to be close. I think she's going to come up just a hair short. 321 and 91 for Karen on the tractor. 321 and 91 for the young lady here this evening. If you haven't made your way down there yet under the Thunderdome, they're down there selling tickets. You can win yourself a Harley Davidson. Got a 2021 Harley Davidson to give away down there. They're also going to be giving away a couple of rifles. One of them a Henry rifle, chambered in 45 Colt, and then a Savage 17 HMR. Tickets for that drawing are $50 each, or 3 tickets for a $100 bill. They're going to be drawing that out on September the 20th. You do not have to be present to win, but a disclaimer, if you win, you are responsible for the sales tax and licensing fees on the Harley-Davidson motorcycle. Make sure and go check them out. The American Legion down there selling the tickets. They'll be glad they get you signed up to win that Harley-Davidson machine. Also got the running around selling the programs out here this evening. That 2021 Outlaw program, just $5. Full color program, got all of our pictures.
Jimmy, do you remember where you were in the class?
I would think I was 12.
Awesome season, currently second in the points here.
You think you were what?
12th.
12th? Okay.
I think Tyler Paddock was right ahead of me at 11th.
Okay, there's Sibley. That's Des.
312.7.
Gotta zoom ahead here. I suck at zooming through here.
Schluter, Corey Schluter, out of Carrollton, Missouri. The Grand River Deer 3.
They pulling the 401 class now?
Formerly driven by his grandfather.
Yeah, they have.
How many tractors do they have?
They have 4 tractors in the mix.
Work that out for him here.
4 tractors.
That's enough.
Yeah.
333.
I can't even keep one running.
I was going to go there, but I decided not to.
You can't run. We're cool. We got to behave. We got to be nice to Jamie, but you and I can pick on each other just like normal.
With the cap.
Look at all these lady drivers we keep finding in here.
Is that Tyler's?
Dude, that's Megan.
Okay.
Another lady driver. Yeah.
Gary Barrett in the top spot.
Oh, there I am.
Here we are. I'm going to make it big. Boom.
Out of Pilgrim, Nebraska. International called Moving On. We're talking to Jamie on the podcast, the Outlawed podcast, Tuesday night at 7 p.m.
Look at that. That's
Tune
perfect
in,
segue, Ron.
Nailed
it.
Just a couple weeks off, though.
Well, that's Jamie's fault.
Podcast live.
That is my fault.
Interviewing Jamie Janke.
Jamie, what are you feeling and what are you thinking right now?
Moving on.
I'm thinking I wish I would have never touched that brake.
Your foot's on the brake.
And now it's on the left one.
Ooh.
Oh, she got in the chalk. Got in the chalk. Dadgummit.
Dadgummit.
On the rear tire, that's going to be an out of bounds right there.
Yeah, that stunk, Jamie.
Mm-hmm. But our only goal for the night was to get the tractor to hook up really well, and it did.
It did.
You
were
loaded
moving.
on the trailer under its own power. It was a win, right?
Yeah.
You were moving.
Even Dwight Ritter, after who won it, came up to me and told me that he was glad I went out of bounds because it was a heck of a pass.
Wait, he was excited that night, Dwight Ritter.
Yeah. He was still parked right beside us.
Yeah. Well, you probably couldn't go to sleep for the party there next door that night, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, because he's friends with that Ken Summers guy, and they hoop it up a little bit, I think.
A little.
Yeah.
You got to see their Snapchats at 4 a.m. you get from them.
So
well,
Jamie,
everybody, welcome.
Yep,
it's Tuesday, September 7th. I'm Jason Schultz. Ron Stone's right below me. Jamie, oops, I got to do it. My fingers are different. Oh, this way.
Oh, yeah.
Which way? How's that work? Ron, can you point at Jamie for me?
Yep, she's over there.
This is Hollywood Squares. So gotta do it this way. So Jamie Janke, one of our young guns. Ron came up with the young gun theme here. Talked to a lot of our young pullers with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association. We do this every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. We're live on Facebook. We're live on YouTube. Honestly, usually it reaches about 10,000 people on Facebook. Typically, we get 400 to 500 viewers on YouTube. So, and we appreciate all the comments. So if you're a friend of Jamie or a foe of Jamie and you want to give her a little crap, pick on her about going out of bounds with Wisner, maybe tell us some cool stories about her so we can embarrass her a little bit. Please type those in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to put those up on the screen. So that's what it's all about, Jamie. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I will tell you. I can't remember. I think where were we this summer? There were so many pulls this summer. We were somewhere, and I didn't look on down the list, and I forget who was pulling in your class. Might have been Connie Molinix. And I said the last lady driver in the class. I know where we were at. I think it was West Point.
Yes, and it was daily.
And yeah, I think you hadn't gone yet, and your mom come over and corrected me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, Mama Bear come over and corrected me, and I was like, I'll get it straight. But us announcers, we speak before we know what's going on sometimes.
Well, she drove too back in the day, so she knows how we get called men pretty often.
Yeah, she's just a proud mama.
Oh yeah.
Tell us about your pulling career. I actually was there to witness your very first pull last summer at West Point.
So actually before that, I got to pull Seth Novak's little garden tractor when I was 5. And I had Dave Novak on one side of me pushing the throttle forward and my dad helping me steer on the other side of me. So that was my first time down the track.
Very cool.
My dad built the tractor, I think I was 7. And I waited 9 years to drive it.
Now, was that always a goal then, was to drive the tractor?
Oh, yeah. Well, my great uncle started pulling in the late 70s, early 80s. He actually pulled and was friends with Esden Lane, which I'm going to brag about a little bit.
Oh, awesome. You can. Go ahead.
Yeah. And LD Nation. So he had a decent super stock called Moving On, which is down in our bottom shed now. And so that's why our tractor's named Moving On after that one. And so 4 days after my 16th birthday, I jumped on at West Point.
Now, were you nervous?
Yeah.
Was your left foot shaking a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, definitely.
I think maybe you had two shots at it. Is that right, or did you get it off the first try?
So Thursday night, I drove. I don't remember if it's the Midwestern or Mid America Tractor Pulling Association. I could get it off the line every time. I just got really scared by the front end coming up, so I kept letting out of it there. And my only goal for Friday night was don't let out of it. And I got it off the line the first time, and I got all the way down the track, and that was good enough for me.
Yeah, I remember that night. I remember announcing that. You did have a pretty good pass, too, for a first time. So.
And I beat Brian Deck. No,
what's that?
I said, and I beat Brian Deck. He's from around here, so we just beat each other.
So, I always ask the girls on here, what did you play with most when you were a kid? Did you play with Barbie dolls or did you play with toy tractors?
So I was actually obsessed with those American Girl dolls.
Yeah.
But
Jason was too, but
I grew up with Seth Novak. So I got to play with tractors quite a bit too.
Good deal.
I spent my summers living out of the mean farmer trailer.
That's cool. So, who did you look up to? Who was your idol in the pulling world?
So Loretta Selman, I loved her.
Okay.
And Molly Edmister. And recently I've met Connie Molnick, and she is awesome. And then my mom, of course, because she did something that I never watched anybody else do.
Now, do you feel like there's kind of a resurgence in pulling from your generation right now? I mean, at least with the Outlaws?
Yeah, I do. Because when I was growing up, because I've been around it my whole life, I really didn't have that many people my age at the time. And so I kind of just hung out with all the older people and got to know them. And then all of a sudden, in the last 3-4 years, there's been so many people my age that I've met and got to know and now get to pull against. So I really think it's kind of boomed.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. I think we're we're on the cusp of something here. I think pulling is kind of experiencing a resurgence here. Now, you guys, you know Sydney Summers?
Yeah.
Do you have a TikTok following as well?
Of like not even 100 people.
Not even 100? Okay. Well, that might change after tonight. You just don't know.
I did make a TikTok of me making fun of myself driving in Wisner, which is actually on my Facebook.
Was that the picture Jason just showed?
I had that lead right there, Ron. If he'd have had just a little bit more weight on it to hold it level.
But
you see it right here.
It is farther down if you scroll into what I've posted. My recap from Wisner, I think it was funny. My mom thought it was hilarious.
Nobody's
There
gonna
it is.
know.
Well, it was kind of a smooth run out of bounds. I mean, it wasn't like, out of control and getting
Nobody's gonna
wild. It just
know.
you just drifted over there. And
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna know.
They're gonna know.
How
we
Nobody's
know.
gonna know.
We know, Jamie. Jason Schultz knows.
That's funny. Nobody's gonna know. Nobody's gonna know.
I think it was Dennis Beck who told me I should just paint my tires white. That way nobody would know. Fireworks! Get set! Go!
Is that Wisner?
Yes.
And who are you racing?
That is Joe Moriando and Nathan from Side Piece.
Okay. Ron, can we get those outfits?
Joe was sporting the one all night. Yeah, it was pretty hilarious. Russell S. Dostal says, passing of the torch to the younger generation. Fans love it.
Good.
Yeah. I mean, we love it too.
My dad passed the seat on to me. If I'm there, I'm driving. That's what I told him.
Officially. All right. You know what that means? Usually I joke around when Dad passes on the seat. That means Dad actually wants to build another tractor.
He doesn't, though. He loves tinkering on it. He'd rather tinker on it than drive it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
He's a good
I'm
dad.
sure he's proud.
Yeah.
So where are you at this weekend, Jamie?
This weekend I'm actually going down to Wichita for a bowling tournament, so we won't be tractor pulling at all.
Not tractor pulling. Okay. Well,
I think we're gonna go to Spencer and then be done.
Yeah. We'll be in Warrensburg and Buckner this weekend.
Which
So go ahead.
we usually try and go to Warrensburg because the Shacklefords are good friends of ours.
Okay.
But I got a good opportunity to bowl in Wichita to look at colleges and stuff too. So I'd pass on tractor pulling just because
cool.
I could get scholarships out of it.
So you're a good bowler then.
I like to think so.
Okay. Well, I mean, if it's going to help you get a scholarship in college, I would say you're pretty good.
Yeah, I was Nebraska state runner-up individual, and our team won in Nebraska. So
cool. Very cool. Didn't know that.
Jamie, you don't need to be humble with us. Nobody's watching. I know you're too young, but the movie Major League, Bob Uecker says something like, I think he swears on the radio, and then the guy looks and says, "You can't say that on the radio," and he says, "Nobody's listening anyway." It's kind of funny.
One hit.
Yeah, one goddamn. That's what he says.
Great
He
movie.
says, "No, you can't say that on the radio," and he says, "Nobody's listening anyway." So it's all good.
Great movie.
I do have a funny story. So we've been doing these, somewhat of these shows, Jamie, since like 2013. 2015 is when I really started doing these, like the YouTube lives and stuff like that. And we didn't really know what we were doing in the beginning. And one of my buddies jumped on. He'd been drinking beer and he didn't know we were live. And he just started F-bombing everything. And then he about 2 minutes into it, I said, do you realize we're live? He goes, well, it was so funny. We ended up deleting it because he was embarrassed. But the people that caught us live, it was, I'm special, Jamie. That's all I'm going to say.
So where do you see yourself in the future? I mean, let's look forward to 2022 here. I mean, do you have any special plans? You going to follow any points races intently here? Or?
Well, I'll be graduating in May, so I'm hoping to bowl for the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. So I feel like my whole summer is going to be devoted towards that. I'll try and get out when I can. Dad might run it a little more. We didn't actually get our tractor back this summer until the middle of July, and I told Dad that he had to tell Joe Bush, who's our mechanic, that we had to have it for our hometown pole. So my first hook back this year was in front of the hometown, which was great.
Awesome.
Jamie, is bowling season in college? Is that like fall? Is that summer? Is it spring?
That's about November to April.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
That's hardcore.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a tournament, I want to come with Ron, and we're gonna heckle the other team.
Okay.
We'll wear a bunch of John Deere clothes, dress up like Tyler Paddock, and
great.
We'll do the best we can.
We could be the Belly Boys.
The Belly
We could be
Boys,
the
yeah. I'm sure we can find something. So. Give
I
us
feel
some,
like you got to take Tyler with you then.
tell me something fun about your dad that we don't know about.
Oh goodness.
That he won't ground you.
Well, I guess I got the perfect mix of my mom and my dad. I can party like my mom, but I'll tell you off like my dad. And he is a pretty hardcore guy, but he has a soft place in his heart for cats. He won't tell you that, but
these are the kind of things we want to know.
We won't use it against him, we swear.
Oh yeah.
No.
Or maybe something after Wisner, he came up onto the tractor after I went out of bounds and was sitting there yelling at me because the tractor wasn't running. He goes, "You gotta try starting it up." And I said, "You don't think I was trying to start it up while I was sitting there?" He gets on there, "You're just not trying hard enough." And then he couldn't start it himself either.
Yep.
Nice.
Yelled at me about that the whole season. First 3 hooks, it just kept dying on me at the end. And I said, "Well, you drive it then." He drove it, and it died on him. He called me that night because I was home and said, "It wasn't your fault."
Oh.
I told ya, I wasn't doing it wrong. It's tractor.
It all happens so fast, Jamie. It's crazy. So.
Oh yeah.
So how many times have you actually pulled the moving on tractor in total?
Ooh,
Last season and this season?
9 times.
9 times. How do you feel? Do you feel comfortable yet? Or you feel like you still have a little bit of learning to do?
I finally had that what I call my epiphany moment in West Point, where once I was on the line, everything slowed down.
Yes.
So it felt like I was on the line for 30 seconds when really I was there for maybe 3.
Yeah, if you're on the line for 30 seconds, your dad's going to yell at you again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He told me to come out of the whole light there, and then Daly went, and she had that issue with her clutch slipping, and then it fell back. And he goes, "Well, maybe not like that. Please don't do it like that."
So, I mean, you guys, all you young guns, you kind of hang out together too,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got Kelsey Davidson, and
Yes.
you got Luke and Daly, and we have a lot of young guns. I didn't realize we were going to have this many, honestly, when we started this, but we really do have a lot. You guys kind of hang out together and pal around together at the pools too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And Kelsey goes to school at Wayne State now, so me and her have lunch every Thursday together. So
Awesome.
even through the winter, I get to see her.
Awesome.
and-
He had a really good hook in Wisner, by the way.
Oh, she did. My mom peed her pants for her.
Wait, literally?
Yes. Kelsey was coming down the track, and even if I really hope if you don't see it on Outlaw TV, but I probably jumped as high as I've ever jumped. She really needed that, and it made me cry.
I think I heard you guys celebrating down there at the end of her run. Actually,
Oh, yeah.
It was a lot of jubilation down there, to say
Oh,
the
yeah.
least.
And then afterwards, my mom goes, "Oh my God, Kelsey, I peed my pants for you."
I mean, that's awesome that you guys get that excited for each other. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's tractor pulling. I mean, it's a family thing. It really is.
Even Friday night, well, we had to help Daly because her dad was on the other track. And I gave her fist bump before, and I said, "You go out there, you beat me. You go farther than I did." And then really glad nobody got on video, but I was definitely at the other end, about running and about fell.
So what's your future plans? I mean, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Hopefully in 10 years, I'll graduate from vet school and be back here. And I want
to building a pro stock.
Maybe.
You might be able to afford it if you're a vet, actually. So
yeah.
Get that scholarship, Jamie. Get your school paid for with bowling.
Yes.
And then go to vet school, and then just start, chucking $50,000 away a year. So you'll have about $500,000-600,000 by the time you get out, and then you'll be able to afford a pro stock and a backup motor, and then the third one that you'll go through that season. It's all good.
The backup motor.
Yeah.
You didn't use your backup motor this year, I noticed, Jason.
Yeah, Jason doesn't have a backup motor. Jason barely got one motor running this year. So. This year sucked. I had a lot of expectations, and this year sucked.
We did too. And with Dave Novak, he's still waiting on crank, I'm pretty sure, which really sucked for him too.
I'd give him my crank, but I think it's missing a few. I think I need to polish my crank a little bit after my weekend. So.
Do you see the message on the screen, Jamie?
I do, and I'm looking at it, and I'm still winning the bid, Mom.
When's the auction over?
And actually, so with cattle bids, they end at a time, and then you have to go 3 minutes without anybody bidding on anything. So it ended at 7, but we're still in extended bidding.
Yeah, I tried to buy a semi, Jamie, like that in April. I was trying to buy like an old Model A Kenworth. I wanted kind of a classic looking rig, and I started bidding on it like 10 days early, like $12,000. And I'm like, I'll go to like 30 on this. And then like the last 5 minutes, it went boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
And I stopped at 35,000. I'm like, I'm done. Because I knew I was going to have to put some money into that truck. But now I understand that extended bidding thing.
Oh, yeah. That's how all cattle is.
Awesome. Mom said it sounds good.
Yeah, of course.
So, Jamie, before you leave, did you guys see this video of this kid with that 16,000-pound farm stock up in Canada? His interview? Okay, you guys... I literally peed my pants. Like your mom peed your pants for the other gal. This is so funny. I can't wait to do this. So, it's hard to start. What's this mean? Is it hard to start if it's not been running for a week? Do you have to spray fluid in to get to start? Yes, Evan. Every time.
Ours starts right away.
Bang, bang.
We never have to use outside ether. We just push the little button and it starts.
Push the little button.
Yeah.
Do you mind if I do a T-shirt on that, Jamie?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Push the little button. Those last 5 minutes always suck with bidding. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you guys got to watch this. Don't leave me, Jamie. And it's so freaking funny. This guy, so funny. He acts like he's just won Bowling Green or Wisner. He's so cool. I love it. This lady doesn't know what to do with him.
So we're here with someone from Centerville. Tell everybody your name.
This is up in New Brunswick, Canada.
The prettiest girl I ever met in my life.
Okay.
Apparently she runs the Agents magazine and everybody should buy it.
Oh, yes. There we go. So I wanted to ask you about your tractor.
Yeah.
Tell me about your tractor.
Well, I bought her in Indiana there 2 winters ago and I wanted to tractor pull with. That's why I bought it.
So you bought it in Indiana.
Yeah.
What is it, though? What's the age? What's the...
The 2180 white back about 1978. Dale Forsyth hauled her home for me. Best truck company we've ever had around the county right there.
And so what have you done to it?
Oh, I put the swing smokers on her like the old days, like Fowler and them used to pull with years ago.
Okay.
Get the V8 pattern, 3208 cab.
Okay, I want you to talk this way only for the fact that they probably can't hear you because there's lots of noise going
So we're
on.
going to restart?
No, we don't have to restart, but tell me, so it's a white, what is it?
It's a white 2180 white. 2180 white.
And you bought it what year?
I bought it 2 winters ago.
2 winters
From
ago?
Indiana.
And what age is it?
It'd be about 1978. This is the first series.
1978.
First series has the white on it.
Okay.
Series 3 has that WFE on it, red stripe, different stripes.
Okay. And what did you do to it after you got it?
Well, before she ever got unloaded off the tractor trailer, I set the injector pump right to maximum fuel where you want her.
And in terms of what you did today, what class were you in?
This is the best, okay?
18,000 pound yesterday and 16,000 pound today.
Come a little closer because it's getting a little noisier. So yesterday, how did you do?
I got second place. I lost by 4 feet.
And today?
I was 700 pounds light because I didn't really know the weight of the tractor, and that was the first time I ever pulled her. Today, well, let's talk about today. I put her in a 16,000 pound class. I put her in third gear. They were all 280, 290. One was 310, maybe 312.
And you were?
I put her right at 370 feet right in the sand pond. The only mistake I made, I didn't put her right in the registration booth with the girl.
Why do you come to these? Why did you want to do this?
It's all I've ever known my whole life. Farming and drinking and, and grass pulling. Just always been excited about it. And it's all I've ever known. Fodder and them started.
You guys, let's talk about today.
Deep feet right in the sand pond. The only mistake I found class, I put her in third. First time I ever pulled her. And today.
Real animated here.
I put her in a 16,000 pound class. I put her in third gear. They were all 280, 290. One was 310, maybe 312.
And you were?
I put her right at 370 feet right in the sand pond. The only mistake I made, I didn't put her right in the registration booth with the girl.
Why do you come to these? Why did you want to do this?
It's all I've ever known my whole life. Farming and drinking and, grass pulling. And just always been excited about it. And
So I just that I saw this today, and it just. I mean, I know he's clowning a little bit, but it's just so perfect. It is just so perfect. Like it's all I've ever known: farming, drinking, and pulling. And it's just like these are my people. These are my people.
I think my mom's got something she'd like me to show.
Oh, okay.
This is where's my camera? That is my great uncle. Diesel Superstock.
Cool.
From 1979.
What was the tractor called, Jamie?
Moving on.
Oh, that's right. You told us that earlier.
He pulled an Astrodome. He pulled at National Western Farm Show. I think he was a regional champion for NTPA a few times. Yeah.
79, you say?
79, something between that and 83, I think.
Yeah, that was a booming time for pulling. It was late 70s, early 80s. I mean, throughout the 80s. But that's awesome to have those pictures. But
yes, they were hung up in his hospital room when he was on hospice. So, yeah. And now I pull for him because I want to make him and my grandpa proud.
That's awesome.
Cool.
My mom brought those to me.
Yeah, way to kill the mood, Jamie. We were all
sorry.
Now I want to cry. I went from being happy to.
I can finish with the funny story of my mom and Wisner a couple years ago. Hi, Steve.
Can you hear us, Steve?
I can't hardly hear you guys.
Can you
turn your volume up? Jamie's going to tell her story here.
I think Steve was there for the story.
Can you hear us now?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
Oh,
it helps when you put your
Steve.
Yeah, it helps when you put your earpiece on. Yeah.
So my mom drove in 2016. She was doing really well at the beginning of the season. We got to Wisner, and Dad drove Friday night. Did pretty well. Mom went to go drive Saturday night. About 280 foot, her back tire comes off.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Yes, and she, everybody makes fun of her. And then at Pierce, I almost lost my front tire. And the first thing I said to her when I got back is, "It's still on. I have all four on." So
Jamie,
she will never live that down.
Jamie, do you have any advice for any young guns out there that may want to cut their teeth at pulling and get started? Any advice from you?
You have to have a cool dad.
Number one, yep.
Well, I guess be ready to give crap and be ready to take it.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Well, Jamie, thanks for coming on tonight. Jamie Janke, one of our young guns.
Jamie, what's the worst anybody's ever butchered your name?
Well, on the state championship trophy, they almost put Jarnie, which is Jarnie. So that was great. And then the last name, Janke, is the worst.
Janke. Ron, remember that.
Janke, yeah. Actually, that'll get stuck in here, and I'll say it sometime by accident. So
Say it 5 times real fast. Janke, 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 Ron.
you just did it, man. I don't have to repeat.
Okay, good. I'm trying to get it in your head. So. Jamie, you're
Jamie.
awesome. You're humble. I wish you nothing but success. Next summer, I'm going to kick your ass with my tractor, and that's all I got for you tonight.
Okay.
We'll believe it when we see it, Jamie. We'll believe it when we see it.
Exactly. Exactly.
And hello, Steve.
Hi, Jamie. How are you, sweetie?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you.
Steve, she said nice things about you earlier.
Oh, my.
Really liked you, said personal friend, and that made us a little question Jamie's judgment a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I wonder about that myself. I started pulling with her dad, and she was just a little girl. I mean, cute little girl. And little. How old do you think you were? Maybe, well, you're 4 or 5?
Well, when Dave built his, I was 4, and when Dad built ours, I was 7. So
Yeah. So you would have been 5, 6, 7 years old when we first started seeing you around. Yeah. Now you're a grown woman.
Well, Jamie, we look forward to seeing your TikTok account explode after this interview, right?
Hey, I already had a few notifications on it.
Cool. See there? We're star makers, Jason.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just send the royalties to Ron and Jason, Jamie.
Okay.
Have a good night, Jamie.
Thanks,
You too.
Jamie.
Bye, Jamie.
Bye.
Ron, every one of these young kids have been just humble. It's been so neat to meet them and talk to them, because a lot of times they're, we're the old guys now, and if you don't know them, they probably don't want to talk to you. So it has been so cool to really, I guess, show them off. That's the whole idea of having the show like this every Tuesday night, is that you really don't get to talk to the pullers that much, and this is a chance to really get to know the promoters and the pullers of the Outlaws and all the hard work that it takes. It's been fun.
Get the fans to actually, get a glimpse of the personalities of the drivers. They don't get to see that very often. And
right.
It's cool because you have all kinds of like the guy that you just showed his interview there a minute ago. I mean, his personality is unique, and that's cool to people to see all the different personalities. So.
Well, that's what I want to do, Ron, and kind of the reason I showed that to you, because first of all, it's funny as hell. The guy just makes me laugh. Now let's talk about today. Just killed me how funny it was. But that's some fun. We need to do grab some pullers afterwards and go live, and just, hey, we're gonna go live. No cussing, but you can have a beer after the pull. It's all right, and show the fun side of the pullers.
Did you see the interview we're talking about, Steve?
No, I didn't. I just got wrapped up and just come on board. Sorry.
Tractor loaded up.
Yep, it's loaded up and back in the barn, and tomorrow morning we'll pull it out again and take it back into Warrensburg and put it on display. I think we've had it there like 9 days in a row now, various spots in town, and just trying to do whatever we can to get people aware of what's going on.
Absolutely. And we're doing our best to get the word out to Jason and myself,
Yep.
and everybody's sharing as much as we can. It's a great facility in Warrensburg. We're talking about the Show Me Shootout in Warrensburg, Missouri. Comes up on Friday night at 6:30, correct?
Yes, sir. Friday night at 6:30 at the Johnson County Fairgrounds there, just west of Warrensburg, on the north side of 50 Highway.
Now, is it actually Warrensburg or is it Centerview?
I think the address out there is Warrensburg.
Okay.
I do. I may be wrong though, but I think it's Warrensburg.
Gotcha. A couple times I looked it up, and I think maybe the fair office was in Centerview, and I was like, well, that's
it
possible.
may be.
The Buckner poll's actually in Sibley, so
Yeah. It could be. I actually don't know that I've ever looked up the address for the office itself. But you were talking about young people and getting to meet them in the sport, and the sport of pulling is great. It's a great mechanism to meet new people and see how other people farm and run their businesses. But the Outlaws kind of shine in that area in regard to the young people and getting the young people on the track and pulling. I don't know that you see that so much in some of the other associations. Not that that's a bad thing. They're great, but I do think the Outlaws kind of shine in that area.
No, I think the ratio is a little heavier in our favor with the Outlaws as far as the young drivers. And female drivers as well. We have a lot of females.
We really do.
Driving, so.
Yep, we do. Sydney Summer and Mackenzie Yark and and Jamie Janke, just to name a few. We got a lot. Yeah, always, and we have had for quite a while.
So, Steve, tell us about the pull this weekend. What are we going to see? I hear we have an additional class just added.
Yep, we're going to. We've had them, and then they were not going to come, and then they were going to come, and I kind of take blame for that. But the light super stock class is going to be there at the state level, and I think we'll still have a good number of pullers that'll come, and we got a wonderful track in Warrensburg. If the conditions are right, it's probably one of the best horsepower tracks I've ever got to pull on. And so we're kind of looking forward to that. Everything's ready to go out there.
And just to clarify, it's a state level hook, meaning it's not a points hook with the Outlaws because it was added so late, but it is still full outlaw payout. It's not a state level payout. It's going to be full payout from what I understand.
Yep, I believe that's right. Yep.
So any light super stocks, don't have anything going on this weekend. It's Friday. Come on out, show me shootout. Part of the red, white, and back the blue weekend. Of course, it's the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and we'll talk about that a little bit Friday night at Warrensburg and Saturday night at Buckner as well. And we're hoping to have a lot of red, white, and blue out there and have a lot of veterans and even current military members and police and first responders and such. So we want to support those folks. They could use our support right now.
They sure could. We have a military night. When we had a 2-day show, one night was military night and the other night was family night. But now we've combined them into one. And so when you came up with the idea of a theme, red, white, and back to blue, it fit in with our current theme so well. And it's because we have a military night that offers a pretty good discount, and we want our veterans, first responders, teachers, medical workers, anybody like that can show any kind of an ID there at the gate is going to get a $5 discount.
And you might have a lot of Air Force members there, being that Whiteman Air Force Base is just right down the road. A lot of people don't realize that, but the home of the B-2 stealth bomber is right down the road from Warrensburg in Knob Nostra, Missouri.
Yes, it is. Yep. And those guys that work out there on the flight line and most of the folks on that base have something to do with mechanics. Very few pilots and mostly mechanics, and they love horsepower and they love to see this kind of stuff. And we actually worked like the dickens to try to get a tractor on the base on display so they could see it, put a sign up so they know what was going on. It's been difficult to reach the base the last few years.
When I moved to the Kansas City area back in the mid '90s, I grew up with pulling in my blood there in Southern Ohio, where I grew up. And I actually found myself living in Warrensburg, working at the nursing home there in 2000. Yeah. And when I saw that there was a pull over there at the Johnson County Fairgrounds, I was there.
Oh, good. That's great. So I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Yeah, hoping a lot of these guys from the base, will have a similar story where they've been relocated because they're in the Air Force and they see a flyer, hear it on the radio. And Jason, that's very distracting. Very distracting.
It's loud for sure.
Mark, it just happened. It just happened. It is not a points hook, though. It is not a points hook.
No, it's not.
So what
we're going to have two-wheel drive pickups. Yep, two-wheel drive pickups, modified tractors, pro stock tractors, limited pro stock tractors, light limited pro stock tractors, pro stock 4x4 pickups, and modified pickups. So there'll be a lot of noise. There'll be a lot of smoke.
There you go. That's what we like. And also the season, the points race for the mod tractors ends this weekend. Warrensburg and Buckner is it for the 74 mods. So that points race will come to an end this weekend. Where'd Jason go?
Now, Ron, for some reason
You can't hear me?
I can hear you guys.
Well, for some reason I've lost you there.
Both of you are still there on my end.
Okay.
Yep. You're back good now. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. So you have a lot of people involved with this event. I mean, how many people put this event on? A lot of people don't realize how many people it actually takes to put on a truck and tractor pull.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked because we have 19 members that started this back when we started this deal that came together and said, let's try to have a good show, an event that people want to see, bring in a lot of iron to watch. We originally started out as a 2-day show. And as you know, Ron, the weather has just absolutely, one step forward, 3 steps back. The very first year we had the show, we had the entire Outlaw show here, 2 tracks, 2 days, quite an event. And on Friday night, August 22nd or 23rd, I forgot, it was 107 degrees. And the next night it was 103. Why, if I didn't have to be there, I wouldn't have gone myself. So it was not a pretty sight. It was kind of rough. You can't expect folks to sit out in that kind of heat. And the next year it was almost the same. It was hot. It was 100+ degrees both nights. And then we moved our date to September, and it rained it out, clear out. There was a hurricane that came through the south, and I bet it didn't rain here 0.2 of an inch, but it literally drizzled or some kind of a mist all day long and into the night. And so we've just had a heck of a time, but I believe we're getting rewarded for it. It looks to me like fantastic weather is coming our way. They're calling for 88.
Steve, I've got
knock on some wood
here.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Knock on that, because it could happen. But
yeah.
I think a high Friday of 88, and by 6:30 at night it should be down in the low 80s, and hopefully it'll hold together and we'll have some good weather.
Yeah, that's perfect weather for a pull, right, Jason?
Yep.
Jason and I talk about this all the time.
I no longer want to promote pulls, Steve. I suck with weather. I got rained out 5 years in a row in Richland Center, and I'm done. I'm just going to help you guys get the word out.
Yep. That's
we were talking about that, I think, at the Iowa State Fair, how, we always talk about how great the weather is for a pull, but then, you kind of reflect on that and think, you know what, I would go to a pull if it was 20 degrees or if it was 120, I'd still be there saying, hey, what a great day for a pull.
Yeah.
Because we're always up there announcing, Steve saying, oh, isn't it a beautiful night for a pull? And we're under a covered grandstand. Those people at the state fair just sitting there baking in the sun. And Ron and I up there had a nice breeze, and Lori Bowers feeding us drinks and, cigarettes. It's just a great life. It's a great life. So.
Non-alcoholic and candy cigarettes, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to start any rumors.
Said it was that year. It was hotter than 2 badgers fighting in a wool sock.
Well, there's all kind of anomalies there, but we'll keep them to ourselves.
Steve, we were talking about your pull last night on our Let's Grow Pulling show that we do on Monday nights, and Ryan Rusink said that for some reason your pull doesn't get the notoriety that it deserves because of the facility and the track and the show. Is it just because you think it's the time of the year? Is it because you had some crappy weather and you didn't get that big crowd? What do you think?
I don't know. We just cannot seem to get the crowd that this show should attract. And I just can't put my finger on it. I really thought when Jefferson City, discontinued their 2-day show, all through the south, mid Missouri down there in Tuscumbia, all those little towns south of Jefferson City, when they have a little old brush pull, I mean, there'd be 2,000 people come out of the brush to watch it. And Jefferson City got a lot of that crowd. That was a chance for local people to see some high horsepower, good iron. And I thought, we'll attract some fans from that area, but we're just not getting it for some reason. I don't have the answer, Jason.
And
I wish I did.
This time of year is tough, Steve. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Because once school gets back in, I mean, I ran restaurants in my 20s and lost my ass. And I always remembered September and January were the 2 hardest months. And now I'm in mortgages, and it still even slows down a little bit then too. Back to school is really a kind of a thing.
The sponsors are also important. And, the promoter is the one taking the risk. They're taking the biggest risk of anyone out there. I mean, they could lose big time at an event. And, I know pullers can lose it, but, the promoters have a bigger chunk they could actually lose, and it could torpedo the event for following years. Last year we went out on a limb, had an event in June, right in the middle of COVID.
Yep.
I talked to the Johnson County Health Department more than I cared to last year. I checked in once a week.
Yep.
I talked to them enough that the lady I spoke to there was actually going to bring her little boy out and watch. But
Yep.
It wasn't that torpedoed the attendance. It was the 100% chance of rain, which didn't happen.
Well, you're right. You know, when you're sitting there with your family, you got a wife and say 2 kids, and you're looking at $80, and you look at the forecast. I'm not going to go out there and spend the money and take a chance of it raining me out. And I understand that. I do. I really do. That's the risk we take. As you said, promoters bear it all. Somebody's got to pay the bill at the end of the day. And so, you know, if I have a feeling we're going to have a crowd this year, and it's kind of like tractor pulling. You pull and you pull and you pull and you hope to win, and just when you're ready to kind of throw in the towel and call it a season, you sneak up there and get a good showing. Well, it makes you want to do it again, and that's where we're at here. I think we'll have a good show, and hopefully it'll get my group moving.
Yeah, you know, the thing about tractor pulling, I always try to get people to realize is, you just said, you know, your family of 4 cost them $80 to get in the gate. You can't get one person in the gate at a pro football game for $80.
Oh no,
you know, and
no.
Tractor pullers are the coolest, most humble, hardest working, they're the most awesome people on the planet. I mean, they're the fabric of America. I mean, you, for example, Steve, every time I call you, you're working. I mean, well, I think maybe you're eating lunch one time. We'll allow you to eat lunch. But,
he has to work, Ron. He owns a pulling tractor.
Yeah, I do. Well, and you're right, though. They're the fabric of America. They're business owners. They're farmers. We got, I think, you know, there's several guys in the trucking business that own businesses and have employees, and they're just great folks. They're humble. And again, I'm going to say again, the Outlaws kind of shine there. When they all get together, they're glad to be there. It's a friendly atmosphere, and I'm happy to say that most of my friends are somebody I met pulling.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, awesome people. I mean, people you want your kids to look up to, you know, as opposed to some sports, which I won't name out there, but you know,
right.
You know, I'd want my kids to look up to tractor pullers. You know, I mean, great people.
It's Doug Meisinger.
Meisinger.
Yep, he taught me how to say his name correctly.
So me using the Z pronunciation of the 2 S's is incorrect.
Yep.
Oh boy. Well, that's going to be hard to fix.
He's checking in.
Hey, Doug. How you doing?
Mazier he's got feelings. Josh got feelings. Ron, take care of it. These truck guys always pissing and moaning. I love you, Josh.
So, what else you got going on this weekend? Anything after the pull? I know last year I think you had a band playing out there for a little bit. Maybe that was before the pull. I don't remember.
Yeah, we in the past we've had we had a little bit of entertainment the night before. You know, people would come in early, maybe come in on Friday night. We'd have a band, but this year we're not going to do any of that. I know everybody's got to get up the next morning, get loaded, move up to Buckner. The show's going to move up there, so we don't have anything extra planned this year. I wish we did. Glad you asked, but I wish we did.
Steve Deckinger said he missed you this summer.
Yep. We there's just too much going on here, and we had a little trouble getting a hold of some parts for sure. I'm not gonna lie, but just too much going on here to get away. Now I will tell you, Ron, and anybody that's listening, my son and I are planning to have the tractor together, and we intend to pull it next year, campaign it extensively. We got some things that are going to free up in our schedule, and we plan to be out.
Now you guys actually have 2 tractors, right?
Well, yes, Joe and I both have a 4.1, and then Seth has the light limited pro stock tractor as well, the 466 tractor.
And both of those
and it's the only one that's together. It's the only one that's together and going, and that's the one that I'm putting out on display here around town today and this past week.
Yeah, we're every pull this summer we give away a Case IH flag or a banner.
Yes,
and all the winners of the classes to sign that banner, and we may give away a couple each night this weekend. And I think maybe one of the categories should be the most patriotic. Whoever dresses the most patriotic on Friday night at Warrensburg and Saturday night at Buckner. So, flaunt your red, white, and blue this weekend, or if you're in the military, flaunt your fatigues.
they'll be both there for sure. I just want to mention how much I appreciate all the people that's helped us put the show on. We have one person in particular that I have to mention. That's the lady that I call her the sponsorship coordinator. Her name is Lisa Smart. Her husband is one of the members of our Show Me Puller Productions group. Lisa is a teacher here at the college, and she just I can't say enough about the work and time she puts in to help gather sponsors and make sure the sponsors get what they want. We have the darndest VIP area, Ron, and I know you've got to see it, but we built it the first year. It's a 2-stage tower right at the start line, which is a little bit different, but they really like it. They like seeing that, and with the big screen, it allows them to see the finish just as well as if they were down there. And but Lisa Smart is our program coordinator, sponsorship coordinator, and my goodness, she's covered a lot of miles,
Yes.
done a lot of work for us, and I can't thank her enough.
Yeah, I've coordinated with her a little bit, and she's done a lot here. I was surprised at all the names of different sponsors you have on the list. I mean, you still have a couple of categories left there. So if anybody's interested in sponsoring, get a hold of myself or Steve Shackelford on Facebook. Message us, and we'll get you involved. This poll will be live streamed on Outlaw Pulling TV, so it'll be global. So if your business is on the internet, it could benefit your business greatly by promoting this poll, by supporting it this weekend.
And it takes an army, Steve, of volunteers and passionate people like yourself to put on an event like this. And even just to have a pull-in tractor, it just wears you out. You know what I mean? And it's hard to balance work and hobby and all of it to keep it all going. So shout out to all the pullers and the promoters and the sponsors and the volunteers that help us do all this craziness. So,
well, Steve, anything that you'd like to add here before we say goodnight? Can you hear me,
Guys, I got to apologize. I've lost you again.
Okay.
that's okay. We got you back.
You there? Can you hear us? Can you hear me now? Yeah, it looks
Just
like
barely.
even the movement.
Yeah.
He's got a
Steve,
weak signal
we're
there.
good. We're good, buddy. No worries. I'll just let him go.
All right, Steve. We'll see you. We'll see you Friday. Good luck. And it looks like the weather's going to be great pulling for you.
Take care, Steve.
Okay, Ron. Jason, Ron, thank you guys. I appreciate the opportunity.
Anytime. Have a good night.
We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, the old internet sometimes. We know how that goes. So
Yeah, he's in town there at Warrensburg. I think they're displaying their tractor at like several different sponsors there in Warrensburg. So to build a little buzz there around the area for the event. They will be going up against high school football games and such.
Yep.
So we want to try to get as many butts in the seats there as we can and support this event. So
I just shared the poster out on 7 different pages and groups a little bit ago while we were chatting. So,
well, I reached out to Ken Summers this afternoon, but actually, it looks like my text didn't go through till about 7:30.
we had him on. Let's Go Pulling last night for a good 45 minutes. So
We can talk about Ken a little bit.
yeah.
So
Where is Steve's event again? Joe, Warrensburg, Missouri, Friday night, 6:30 p.m.
6:30. Yeah. Yep. Great facility. You won't be sorry. I promise you. Easy access from 50 Highway there. Great event. We want to see this pull keep going here. They need some good luck, some good weather, and we're hoping Friday is the ticket for them. Then, of course, Saturday, make plans to go to Buckner, Missouri.
Yeah.
Our buddy Ken Summers up there puts on a heck of a pull, another 2-track pull. And it is a co-sanctioned event. 3 organizations, the Outlaws, Western Series, PPL Western Series, and the Missouri State Tractor Pullers Association. So I've had the honor of announcing for all 3 of those organizations. I'll be announcing there Saturday night as well. So that'll be a great event. Jason, are you going to come down by chance?
No, I committed to I'm going to go to a truck show on Friday. It's the Big Iron Classic on Friday. And then Saturday I'll be in Marshfield, Wisconsin. I'm announcing one of my fellow workers in the mortgage business are having a memorial pull for her dad. It's a WTPA, NTPA hook, and I'm announcing up there. So
Cool. How about Spencer? I know Cape Girardeau would be a pretty good haul for you just to go watch, but Spencer, Iowa is the 19th.
The plan was to go to Nashville, Illinois, and then zoom up there, but that filter deal. And Tony's, my engine builder's, he's chopping corn right now, and we have to tear it all the way down to the crank, make sure we didn't get anything. And I just said, it is what it is this year, and take the winter and be ready to roll next year. So
yeah, it's not if, it's when.
Yeah.
It's tractor pulling. So yeah, great weekend of pulling. Weekend.
Another door slammer, Eric.
Hey,
love trucks.
It wasn't me, Eric.
It was me, Eric. I just like to give you guys crap.
It was the tractor guy in the room.
The tractor guy.
It was the tractor guy. I would never do that.
Yeah, you are a door slammer.
That's right. I am a door
It's all
slammer.
good. I love doing these shows, Ron, because the camaraderie back and forth. It's just like being in the pits talking crap with everybody after the pull or before the pull, or poking the bear a little bit, having a good time. So
I will tell you that being around pulling, the biggest thing you hear behind the scenes, one of the things you hear a lot, is how slow the pickups are in getting up to the sled, getting lined up, and pulling. So if you've been to an outlaw event, you know we move the pace along pretty quickly. And so I was timing a little bit as I was announcing at Wisner on Saturday night, and the fastest class of the night was the Pro Stock four-wheel drive pickup class, first class of the night. I think it was 19 hooks in about 52 minutes. And that was the fastest class of the night there. So, no, I'd never hate on my door slammers. So,
oh, geez, here we go. Somebody woke up Nelson.
Oh boy, he's asleep on the couch. Somebody woke him up. He heard trucks and he woke up.
He's always picking on us. I love it. Ron, the Outlaw Banquet's November 19th and 20th. It's in the Ozarks, right? Do you have a lot of details on that yet? My wife, I told her we're going, and she says, well, I need dates. So I looked at my text message from Dave, and he said November 19th and 20th. Do you know much more about like where it's going to be or anything else yet?
It's going to be at Margaritaville, a resort down there. It's actually where they had the fairs and festivals this year, because it's usually in Sedalia, and Sedalia's restrictions for COVID were too restrictive. So they moved it down there, and they like the facility so much that the fairs and festivals event is going to be there as well. So yeah, Margaritaville, the 19th and 20th, the banquet, always a good time for Outlaw members and sponsors and supporters. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. It's a really good time. And I'm not sure who the band is this year. You know, I was singing at the 2020 banquet, which occurred in 2021. Of course, you were there, Jason. But always have live entertainment as well, and drinks and good food and a good time where you can sit back and not stress about, you know, what you didn't do to your tractor and how you're going to perform and how you know, what line you're going to take. And did I tighten that bolt? Did I tighten that line, that clamp? Just to go out and have a good time and rub elbows with everybody and let loose a little bit.
I think Mark Ulmer wants to work on the remedies, what he's trying to tell me here. So,
got my hot rods ready to go.
Yep, Jason got my hot. He's basically
saying
saying
out a little bit. I think
he's got his ready to go, and he wants to work on mine. So
he's a dandy, Mark Ulmer. We almost lost him this summer. Got trapped in a grain silo. I had to have an emergency extrication there. So thank goodness.
Thank goodness for sure.
And of course, that weekend he was pulling and whipped everybody's butts. And
yep. Yeah, everybody felt bad for him for a little bit, and all of his competitors are like, "What? Well, let's rethink this a little bit. Can we have a weekend off?"
So yeah, looking down the road here, yeah, we're about to wind it up. You know, this weekend, Friday and Saturday, Warrensburg, Buckner on Saturday. Then next Friday we'll be in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. The SEMO
I've pulled down there before. They have a big grandstand, decent sized pits. The track was good. It's a really big fair. They had a whole bunch of hit and miss engines and like antique tractors and stuff. It really is a pulling area. So
I think they have an ITPA sanctioned event on Thursday night, I think, or maybe.
Yeah, I went down there for a Friday and Saturday night ITPA, I believe. And I did a Make-A-Wish thing. I let that little boy ride on my tractor with me.
I remember that.
Yeah, that would have been 2017 or 18. Probably 17 or 18. I don't remember.
I know they're really excited to have the Outlaws back in there. And then that's a Friday night. Then that following Saturday or Sunday, we'll be in Spencer, Iowa. The season finale there for most of the classes in Spencer. 2 sessions there, both sessions on Sunday in Spencer. That'll wrap up the points. And then we have a non-points hook down in Texas, Lufkin, Texas.
Yeah.
Gentlemen running that pool down there. Great cause, supporting our military once again. 100% the proceeds go to the military. Had a huge show last year, right in the middle of COVID. Hard to believe they had that many people there.
And I know we say it week after week, but the people involved in pulling are great. It's just that simple. I had a great story Saturday night. So obviously oil all over my tractor. We're trying to figure out where it came out of. And this little girl comes up and she's just bawling because she's like 4 years old. She wanted to sit on the remedy. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I was like, hey, what's wrong? She's like, well, we know you're working on your tractor and trying to figure it out. And she really wants to sit on it. And I grabbed a towel. I wiped that seat down and we put her up in there and she smiled from ear to ear. And
awesome.
And I know everybody watching the show has had that story. And it's fun. It's fun. It reminds you of why you do what you do. You know what I mean?
You're a celebrity in the sport of pulling. You do a lot for the sport. But the young guns, I mean, you can't deny what they're doing for the sport.
It's awesome.
Well, the TikTok stars, like Sydney Summers and such. It's really drawing some more interest towards our sport.
Well, it's putting butts in the seats. And that's what if somebody asked me years ago why I do this. And I just say, because there's not enough butts in the seats.
What was it at the Iowa State Fair? Some little kid asked you, do you know Sydney Summers?
Yep. And I was like, you know who I am? But it's fun. And I always pick on Sydney all the time. I said, if I was cute like you, Sydney, I'd have twice as many followers as you. That's our little joke back and forth. But no, but she explains it and she does breakdowns and she's done TikToks about the sled. She's done TikToks about the tractor and how she drives it. And we parked next to them in McLeod, Kansas, and I saw all the young guys coming to the trailer wanting their picture taken with her.
Wow.
Duh, I would too. But that's great for the sport. And I hope that people go to Warrensburg and Buckner because of that. Hey, I get a chance to go see Sydney Summers, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. All right, buddy. Well, should we call it a night?
Yeah. And then, so we'll start harping on the banquets. I mean, I know we got a couple weeks of pulling left. Today's the 7th, Spencer's the 19th. And then we're going to go into what we're going to call them, the veterans, or what did we say? The legends.
Legend series. Yeah.
That'll carry us throughout the winter then.
Yeah. We want to start talking to those Mark Ulmers and Wayne Longneckers and the Ulmer Mafia, all the Ulmers there. We need to get them on there. We don't want to slight any of the Ulmer Mafia.
Now, we can have 10 people on the show at one time. Is that enough? You and I are 1 and 2. So we have 8. We can put 8 more Hollywood squares up here, Ron.
Can you put 8 of them on there?
Yep. 10 altogether.
I think we should do like Hollywood squares. When you have it stacked up, we can look up and look down. Do you remember that?
We do that on our Monday night shows because there'll be 6 or 7 of us on there. And then we'll point at each other and do different things like this. So it's kind of fun. So I got to turn my finger.
Yeah.
There.
I got it. Oh.
My camera, it's like backwards. I got to remember that.
Mine is
that guy over there. So
all right, buddy.
Thank you for doing this. I'm going to queue up some video. So keep talking for a second while I get some video to play.
All right. Yeah, we want to invite everybody out this weekend, Friday at 6:30 p.m. Central Time in Warrensburg, Missouri. The Show Me Shootout, 2 tracks, 2 sleds, a little bit of something for everybody, smoke, noise, maybe some fire. I guarantee you'll see some fire, maybe a little bit of carnage. Come on out, support a great cause.
Ron, would I have to? I'm just looking through my 2020 Monona County Fair. That's Ottawa.
You all right?
I was looking for Warrensburg.
Well, Warrensburg, we started out rough last year. That was the first hook, and our live stream crashed on us at Warrensburg. We don't have any Warrensburg footage from last year.
That's okay. I'm just looking.
But then Saturday night, I believe Buckner is 47 miles from Warrensburg if you're planning an out-of-town trip to Missouri. Come on up to Buckner on Saturday night, a continuation of the red, white, and back the blue. Very supportive of our military, firefighters, police officers, and first responders. There you go. That's a pretty neat little video.
This is Gibbon, Nebraska, 2020.
So enjoy the video, folks. We're going to we'll say goodnight. And
Drive to the
Jason,
left on her.
thanks for doing this. And we'll talk to you next week. And we'll be talking about Warrensburg and Buckner results.
Sounds good. Have fun, Ron.
225.16, 225.16 feet for Haley Spatansky and Super 10. Eco-tuning, a leader in helping you gain fuel efficiency as well as more power from your farm equipment in a safe, reliable, and proven method. Check out their website at ecotuning.com to find the dealer nearest you. That's ecotuning.com. More power, less fuel. Ecotuning. Dustin Van Beek coming up next on the two-wheel drive side, the Twisted Sister. Out of Rock Valley, Iowa, going to be the next hook. Whoa, look out. That's what those concrete barriers are for, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, it's Tracy with the Zest
Drove
team.
across the white chalk boundary, and it's automatic disqualification. DQ. We ain't talking about Dairy Queen. 186.96 was the distance, but it'll actually be listed as a disqualification with no distance. Ryan Boyce in the next tractor in the light super stock class. Is out of Ottawa, Iowa. John Deere called Under Construction. Ryan currently third overall in the points standings. Got a ways to go yet to eclipse Mark Ulmer and Eleanor. Currently sits number 2. Folks, we're live to the world right now on Outlaw Pulling TV. We're live streaming this event. Everything you see up on the big screen is what the folks at home are seeing live all over the globe. You know somebody that couldn't make it out tonight? Give them a call, send them a text, tell them they can watch live at home on the big screen at outlawpulling.tv. Ryan Boyson out of Ottawa, Iowa, under construction. $228.47, 228.47 for Ryan Boyson and under construction. That'll put him in the number 4 spot. Jason Hunick, Welfare Express. Jason Hunick and the Welfare Express out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Chevy S10, big block Chevrolet, going to come up short. Aaron Decker's still hanging on to that top spot. The Raging Red El Camino still number 1 over there in the modified two-wheel drive division. 271.41, 271.41 for for Jason Hunick. Melvin Nelson coming up next. The Born Loser Light out of Dannebrog, Nebraska. Be our next light super stock. Terry Van Beek, Slightly Twisted out of Rock Valley, Iowa, coming up next on the two-wheel drive side. Schaefer Oil and Specialized Lubricants, offering the highest quality and proven products to work for your vehicle. Schaefer Oils and Lubricants, the best money can buy, and will extend the life of your vehicle and your equipment with products helping to improve your bottom line with more miles between oil changes. Specialized lubricants to make your equipment last longer. SchaeferOil.com. Terry Van Beek, the Slightly Twisted Machine out of Rock Valley, Iowa. All right, we're green. For Melvin Nelson out of Dannebrog, Nebraska. Born Loser Light. Got to beat 331.98 to take the lead. Melvin Nelson going to come up short at 255.75 feet. 255.75. Terry Van Beek, Slightly Twisted. Oh, Terry Van Beek with a nice hook. The Slightly Twisted Machine looks to have went into the lead here, judging by that Case IH leader flag. 322.95, had to beat 314 and change. So Terry Van Beek takes the lead with Slightly Twisted out of Rock Valley, Iowa.
This is a seed bag. This bag is made of craft paper with a cellophane liner and provides nothing for seed growth. This is a seed bed. It was prepared with Case IH soil management tools. It optimizes everything from nutrient access to water infiltration